What if the secret to peace wasn't in politics, revolutions, or billion-dollar inventions, but in how you speak to your mother, how you honor a promise, or how you greet a stranger? Let me take you back 2,500 years. The land we now call China was not yet one nation. It was broken into feuding states, ruled by warlords, drowning in chaos and corruption. Power was God. The weak were forgotten. Families crumbled. Rulers were feared, not respected. In this chaos, a man walked from village to village. He had no army, no crown, no wealth, only a scroll and a message. His name was Kongqiu, but history remembers him as Confucius. He didn't start a religion. He didn't claim divinity. Instead, he asked one simple, devastating question. What does it mean to be truly human? Today, we live in a world that worships speed, celebrates volume, and rewards dominance. But Confucius, he whispered, he invited us not to climb higher, but to go deeper. So today, in this quiet hour together, I invite you to walk his path. Not as a philosopher, but as a person. This is not just a summary of the Analects. It's a return to your own center. Let's be honest, we are the most connected generation in history, and yet we are lonely. We have more knowledge than ever, and yet less wisdom. We have more tools to lead, but fewer true leaders. The people may follow laws, Confucius said, but they imitate character. Look around today. Who do we imitate? Is it the honest, the kind, the wise? Or the loudest, the richest, the most viral? Confucius warned of this 25 centuries ago. He said, when the noble are not honored, and the petty rise in fame, society turns upside down. What we see today isn't new. It's a cycle of forgetting. That's why we need the Analects, not as an ancient relic, but as a mirror. To ask ourselves, who am I becoming? What am I imitating? Where is my moral compass pointed? The Analects is not a single story. It's a mosaic of wisdom, conversations, quotes, observations of Confucius and his disciples. But beneath it all are 5 pillars. 5 virtues that build a life worth living. Let's walk through them. Ren. Humaneness, compassion. Ren is the core of Confucian morality. Often translated as benevolence or kindness, it's deeper than that. It means to feel with others, to live with a soft heart in a hard world. The person of Ren, Confucius said, wishes to establish others as he himself wishes to be established. In modern terms, when you rise, lift others. When you speak, heal. When you disagree, do not destroy. I once met a businessman who had lost everything, except the love of his former employees. Why? Because when he led with Ren. He paid late, but never unfairly. He failed in business, but not in character. In a world that values winning, Ren asks, what is a victory worth if it costs your soul? Li. Ritual respect propriety. To many, ritual sounds outdated. But to Confucius, ritual is the rhythm of respect. It's not about empty formality. It's about showing that you care. How you bow, how you greet, how you eat, how you speak to your elders. Without Li, he said, there is no distinction between humans and beasts. Today, we've abandoned many rituals. We say, just be real. But Confucius knew, being real without reverence becomes rude. Whether it's how we show up at work, how we enter a sacred space, or how we argue, Li preserves the sacred. Yi. Righteousness, doing what is right. Yi is the muscle of morality. It is the willingness to do the right thing, even when it hurts. The noble man understands what is right. The petty man understands what is profitable. Think of the whistleblower who loses his job. The friend who tells you the truth, not what you want to hear. The leader who turns down bribes. He doesn't make headlines, but it builds history. G. Wisdom. G is more than cleverness. It's not about degrees, but discernment. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in danger. Wisdom, to Confucius, is like a mountain spring, clear, still, deep. Do I seek truth or confirmation? Do I learn for growth or for status? Z teaches us to pause before reacting, to reflect before responding, to walk away from noise and into insight. Xin, trustworthiness, integrity. This is the glue of all relationships. The inner alignment of word and action. Without trust, there is no standing. Imagine a society where contracts are signed with a handshake and kept. That was Confucius' vision. When you keep a promise, even when it costs you, you become rare. And rare things are priceless. These 5, Ren, Li, Yi, Zi, Xin, are not mere ideals. They are practices. They are reflections. They are the quiet moments when no one is watching and you still choose to do what is right. This is the beginning of what Confucius called the Junzi, the noble person. The noble man is not a utensil. You were not made to be used by the world, by ambition, or by your own impulses. You are made to become something greater, the Junzi. The Junzi is the gentleman, the superior person, but not in social status. This person is superior in character, in thought, in action, and most importantly, in self-discipline. Confucius did not believe greatness was inherited. He believed it was cultivated. The Junzi cultivates himself so that he may bring peace to others. Don't fix the world first. Fix yourself. Start with your tone, your temper, your truthfulness. So how do you recognize a Junzi? Quiet strength. The Junzi doesn't shout. They don't boast. They move like water, soft but shaping stone. The noble person is slow to speak but quick to act. Moral consistency. The Junzi doesn't wear masks. They're not perfect, but they are honest. To see what is right and not do it is cowardice. Lifelong humility. Even in mastery, the Junzi remains a student. When you meet someone wiser than yourself, think of how you may learn. When you meet someone lesser, reflect on your own growth. Emotional control. Anger does not rule them. Desire does not blind them. Fear does not break them. They do not react, they respond. Inspiration, not domination. The Junzi leads, not by force, but by example. The virtue of the noble man is like the wind. The virtue of the petty man is like grass. When the wind passes over, the grass must bend. In your family, your workplace, your country, ask yourself, am I wind or grass? Filial piety, shao. When your parents are alive, serve them with respect. When they pass, honor them with remembrance. The family was not just private, it was political. A corrupt family leads to a corrupt society. But a respectful home creates a ripple effect of harmony. Do you know your roots? Do you serve your family with the same dedication you give your career? Leadership, government, and moral power. If the ruler is righteous, all will be righteous. If the ruler is corrupt, nothing else can restore order. Lead with virtue, and people will reform themselves. Good governance starts at the top, but not with authority. With example. Speech, silence, and self-control. Do not speak unless it improves upon silence. Avoid gossip, flattery, and idle arguments. Let your life be your loudest statement. Confucius versus today's world. He'd see noise without meaning, freedom without discipline, power without character, intelligence without reflection. Yet, he would not despair, because humans can change. We don't need more opinions. We need more quiet wisdom. More Junzi. A modern-day Junzi. A young man in South Korea worked as a janitor at night, studying by day. His father had died. His mother was ill. Everyone told him to give up. But each day, he showed up early. Cleaned silently. Studied humbly. That young man now leads a foundation that funds the education of 5,000 students. He's not famous, but he is a Junzi. Because every decision he made was built on Ren, Yi, Li, Zi, Angxin. The Confucian code for modern life. Begin each day with reflection. Treat every person as sacred. Create your own rituals. Choose what is right over what is easy. Speak less, act more. Isn't it a joy to learn and to practice what one has learned? In the end, Confucius was not selling perfection. He was offering a practice. The world may not change overnight, but you can. And if you do, you carry the torch forward. Be the calm in chaos. Be the quiet in noise. Be the noble in a petty world. Be the Junzi. Thank you.